All right, so we're going to talk real quickly about gel coat correction. This boat we're working on, it's still that 277 Scout. It's not very old. It is kind of that royal blue color. Here has been polished, and from this to the stern has not been polished. So you may be able to see that difference. It's minimal. Step in 15-20 feet away, it's a pretty big difference to see the depth of clarity and the reflection that is in this side. If I kind of step away, you might be able to see all the crap that's on the dock that has been pulled out of the boat. But essentially, what we've done is, from the bow back, polished the gel coat to pull out oxidation and minor imperfections. What we're using today is our medium compound to pull that out. This is what we're going to include in the signature detail. It's diminishing abrasive. So again, watch the product episode, but the diminishing abrasive compound is going to cut and reduce down to a nice polish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use about 3 like pea-sized dollops on my pad. My pad is relatively new, although it is starting to gunk up a little bit, which I'll show you how to clean it here in a minute. But it's about 3 of those. The boat has already been cleaned. The surface is prepped. It's ready to rock and roll. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I'm on my low setting, and I'm going to just kind of pat it on the surface, and I'm going to slowly spread it in my working area, which is going to be about 2 feet by 2 feet. Not exactly, but about. So that's my working area. Now I'm going to crank it up, and I'm going to work it in. And what I'm looking for as I'm doing my passes is I'm trying to keep the pad as level as possible on the surface, and I'm not putting that much. As you can see, it's the pad of my hand on the back of the polisher. It's not that much pressure. It is some, but it's not that much. You're letting the polisher and the product do the work. Here's a little pro tip, here in this edge, I'm going to tilt a little bit, which is called edging or scrubbing. Different people have different terms for it, but I'm going to get the product up into that corner by tilting a little bit and running in that corner, okay? So I'm going to cross hatch it, which means up and down, back and forth, and I'm going to do that with this product until it begins to become opaque or clear. And you can crank the speed up a little bit if that helps. It's going to diminish as the product heats. You don't have to move quickly. This is not car paint. You're not going to burn through as soon as it gets hot. The heat helps it work it out. So I'm going to do that. It's become nice and clear on the surface. And then I'm going to use my microfiber, and I'm just going to buff that off. And what we're left with is a really nice reflection. It's not perfect, which we discussed with the client before coming out. We said, okay, here's our recommendation, multiple steps of correction. That's going to get the heavy scratches out. That's going to get all the oxidation out. But, however, we think this is kind of like your baseline. This will make the boat look good, and you can get away with this. They wanted to get the get away with detail. So that's what we're doing, and it is making a huge difference. I think they'll be very pleased. After this step, we're going to lock it in with our sealant, which is going to protect the exterior for 3 to 6 months, depending on the care of the boat. So that's how we correct gel coat.